Hey guys, Chicky Maine, aka Deboo.com with the Deboo.com surf forecast update. This forecast update effective around 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Monday, July 28, 2014, and starts you off with a look again at this rare low over here towards the Azores. This low is starting to break down, and another low is forecast in here towards the north central Atlantic over the next 72 hours. Now, this is the first phase of what we saw 3 to 4 days ago in surf alert coming. This combined with possible tropical storm Bertha coming out of the ITCZ over the next 2 to 3 days is going to set up the east coast of the United States with possible surf alerts at select locations up and down the coast from central Florida on up into New England. We'll show you that again in the detailed forecast as we move on. We'll first start you off now with a look at what has become 93L Invest southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. This system is forecast to be Tropical Storm Bertha in probably 5 to 7 days, rounding the corner this weekend of the British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. That's what the forecast is looking like at the moment. But gonna draw your attention over to the east coast of Africa, our west coast of Africa, just as this other tropical wave now is moving off. This is a classic sign of what we call the sign of the twins. If you remember a couple of days ago, the GFS was hinting that we were going to get 2 systems out of this, and then it dropped it in the next run. The question is that because these two are so close together, one may rob another. If they can get some distance between the two of them, we could see 2 coming here shortly. Models could kick on that at any time. Taking a look at the infrared rainbow satellite imagery, you can see that convection is firing up this morning, and for the first time, we're starting to see a little comma trying to form in here. And that's a true sign that the thing is starting to become a little bit better organized. Convection is flaring in here. This is moderate, but what is good about this is the overall footprint of the convection that we have. This is covering a wider area, which would lead to a bigger type system. You need a larger system to cover winds over a larger area of square miles to create swell. Keep that in mind. Looking at the water vapor imagery, you can see that it's in its own environment now. This is all by itself, and it's around moisture. It's not deep moisture, but it's moisture based on dry air up in here, still hanging over from the Saharan air layer. But that could be changing too a little bit as that low develops in the north central Atlantic. So it looks like the Atlantic is turning into a moist environment, guys, before we might trend back to a drier environment in another week or so. But it definitely looks like an uptick in activity coming. Reasons why you want to stay tuned to the forecast. Going to switch you over to the model run now. This is last night's run of the GFS. Starts you off at the 72 hour. This is in 3 days. Area of low pressure coming together in the central Atlantic. This is phase 1 of surf alert that we've been calling for the last 3 to 4 days. Nice northeast fetch. Seas increasing to 15 feet. Next 72 hours in east southeast swell in here, aim towards the Atlantic, negative factor, southerly flow east of the east coast in here, pretty strong, block the initial swell coming in. Switching you to 96, you now have what's Tropical Storm Bertha moving up out of the ITZ, getting away from line 10. The latitude 10 line needs to get away a little bit further to create more spin. Taking you out to 120, you can see Tropical Storm Bertha advancing on the islands now, but look at this fetch in the central Atlantic in here, north central Atlantic, with an area of low pressure that should moisten up the environment a little bit more in here, and that's 15, 20, 25 knot winds aimed at the coast. But here from the outer banks, trough of low pressure wants to move off the coast in here, and the pressure gradient could get tight, like we talked about in the last update, creating some stronger onshore winds. So although you may have surf, could be choppy conditions. Have to just keep an eye on that. Out at 144, we now have the storm crossing over the northern tips of the islands in here and then advancing to the southern Bahama chain north of Hispaniola. Guys, this right here, 40, 45 knot winds, east, south to east, right in the swell window of central Florida, North Florida, up in here towards the Carolina beaches. So That's all we got for you for now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.